Hello, welcome to Resilience Radio Zoom edition. Artson, welcome to the program.
Hello, thanks for having me back and bringing me back.
Well, I'm a big fan, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself to our radio and video community.
Yeah, Nije Coriwe, Artson, Arturo Hernandez Nabez, Tarumara. Hello, my name is Artson, Arturo Hernandez Nabez. I'm Tarumara from Chihuahua, Mexico. And yeah, it's good to be here and good to be doing this interview, doing this Zoom, especially at these times right now, and just sharing in this new way, and just still allowing us to connect like this. It's important for our people to still connect, even though we don't have that physical connection right now. You can still feel energy through this technology, and it's important that we still express like this and still share and still continue to move forward even through these tough times.
Well, we're making an attempt to even connect. You know, it's so easy just to shut down and just,
Yes.
and then weeks go by. Speaking of weeks, that was like the perfect segue. You have done 52 songs in 52 weeks. Are you a madman?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's a big task that I wanted to do. For those that don't know, I've been releasing a song every week since my birthday, January 27th, and I wanted to do it for a full year. So I'm releasing 52 songs in 52 weeks. And yeah, it's I guess for some reason, me as an artist, I have to find something in me that makes it seem like it's impossible. This is impossible to do. And that's the drive within me. So every time I create any album or any project, I almost put myself in a predicament to be like, I might not be able to do this. But that's the drive I have. I've been doing this for so long now that sometimes I have to challenge myself. I have to find a new way to challenge myself. It's not like when I first started and I felt like I could make a song. I was learning how to write songs, learning how to be in the music, learning how to make music. And so those were the challenges earlier on. But now it's like, I know I could do that. I know I can write a song. I know I can write raps, and I know I can play my flute, and I know I could dance. I know these things now. So what then becomes the new challenges for me? So I put myself in these situations, and I do these type of crazy things.
Are they 52 good songs? Or are you just putting out 52 weeks of noise? Artson, come on.
Yeah, no, what's crazy about the situation is I started out with 32 songs done. So last year I did an album. It started off by first I wanted to do a Brave Star Part 2. And that's how it all started. And when I started recording some of the songs, I wasn't connecting the way I was with the Brave Star album, but I liked the music I was making. And then me and Red Cloud had an idea to do to do a collaboration together of a few songs. We wanted to do an EP. And I kind of just went full on in, and I was like, we're gonna do a whole album, bro. And so I went and I gathered all the music, and I wrote all of the hooks, the choruses, and I put together pretty much a whole album. And then I was like, hey, this is the album. This is what we're gonna do. Do you like it? And he really liked it. And we got PJ to get on board, PJ Vegas, and we got Crystal to get on board, Crystal Lightning.
Pause. So you make beats and you produce and you write?
No. Okay. I have different producers that I work with.
Okay.
So I gathered their music.
Okay.
I usually, what I do is I work with a bunch of different producers, but I'll try to make a certain sound so it all sounds cohesive. It sounds like an album. So I'll pick a bunch of music, keep narrowing it down until I feel like this is the album sonically. And then I'll go into my writing process and I'll start putting the songs together with what I want to say. And because I wasn't able to connect, how I said, with like how I was connecting with Brave Star, I felt that I couldn't. Brave Star was such a conscious album. It was so like thought provoking. It was something that was, it made you just think. It was something for the people. It was that I wasn't. And I can't go that deep right now. I just felt like something in me wasn't ready to go that deep again. So I wanted to have fun. I just wanted to do an album that just sounded like just fun. And that's what the Brown Fist Emoji album is. And it was just a fun album, and that's what we call it, Brown Fist Emoji. And it was just something fun, just West Coast sounding, party feel, just good vibrations. And yeah, just really like, just wanted to have fun and just let go and not worry about me being so deep or trying to get something, off my chest or something that the people needed. I just wanted to just completely let go of all of that and just have a good time.
Do you feel a pressure as an ethnic artist that everything you do has to be some like profound ancestral wisdom or something that's going to change the world? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel that kind of, that people only want that out of you?
In a sense, yes, but also too, I guess because it's when, like, for instance, for me, I grew up listening to conscious hip hop, and all the artists that were my heroes were conscious rappers. So I was just drawn to that. I liked Public Enemy, A Tribe Called Quest, Paris, De La Soul, Common Sense, The Roots. These were all people that were making me think. X Clan, people that made me really like dig into myself and find my culture, because I didn't grow up with my culture. I grew up in the city. I grew up, my family, I didn't grow up with tradition. It was hip hop that led me, and it was actually Black culture that led me back to find my people, because they had their empowerment, they had their people and their ancestors and their heroes and their people that were guiding them through like the civil rights movements and stuff like that. So all that knowledge of learning about Black history and being around a Black culture, it was Black people that were like, hey, you should go learn about your people. You should, it's cool that you're learning about our people. That's beautiful, but you should also dig into your roots. And that's what led me on my road to start digging into where my people came from. And so, but it was all because of conscious music. So, but then now also too, hip hop was just fun to me. It was just good, something that was just brought me a joy as a kid. Yeah, I just wanted to move. I just wanted to dance. I just wanted to like, just have a good time with my friends and share my story like that. So I also like just having fun, so that as an artist, I like having fun. I like expressing my emotions, whether I'm sad, happy, mad, or whatever. And but that consciousness is still in me. Even in the Brown Fist Emoji album, we're having fun, but there's also messages in there also. So
I'm going to put my brown fist up every time you say brown fist emoji. So I'm sorry, but I can't stop now. So, yeah. Well, okay. So you got me curious. So the road back to your culture, around how old were you? And was it kind of an easy path back? Or were there a lot of dead ends? Like California here, there's people who tribes have been gone for so long that who do you even ask,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still on that road. I'm still just a baby, I'm still learning like so much. I feel like this journey is going to be the rest of my life. So, and I'm probably not going to learn not even close to what I could have or what I, so yeah, it's definitely been tough. And, my family's really quiet about it. There's not a lot of kept stories in my family. So I've had to like search elsewhere and just gravitate towards what I feel moves my soul. So it's definitely been a tough journey to learn anything. And being that I am in the city, there are times where I have to go somewhere. Luckily, I'm fortunate to be an artist and to have traveled all these years. and meet amazing people that have welcomed me and have been able to guide me in certain directions and share. And also too, I, I just have something in my heart that just was like, I need to learn more. I want to learn more. And so I just pull myself that way. I pray and ask for a creator to guide me. And, the lessons I learned, I guess are for myself. This is my journey, my life, and I'm learning at my own pace. And, like I said, I'm barely learning. I really don't know nothing, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can.
A little toddler,
Yeah, that's
a
me.
little cultural toddler.
Little cultural
Reaching
toddler.
for the mic. Oh, no, but I respect that. And that's awesome. And everybody has their own story and journey. And when you said things that move your soul, you know, you totally know when things ring true and people ring true and the stories ring true.
Mhm.
And also, learning as we grow and we meet people, there's all these weird little pieces that get put back into us that we didn't even know we didn't
Mhm.
have. All these weird little, I don't know. It's fascinating. You're better at articulating it than I am. I saw your album. I'm like, me native happy smile. That's all I got. But
No,
no, and
there's a certain magic about learning and
yes,
growing,
that's what
and
I was trying to say.
yeah,
I
and
just love it.
yeah, it'll touch you and move you in the right way, and you'll just know the energy. Um, you'll you'll come to a place where you learn how to read energy, and you'll know when people are being authentic with you, and if they're being true to you, and or if it's even true for your spirit, because their truth might be something for their spirit and it's not your truth. So I listen to my energy, and I also feel like everything that we do affects that opening to hear that. So a lot of what you're putting into your system, what you're putting out into the world, is going to affect how you can hear that energy and how in tune you are with it. So we have to be aware of those things that keep us open.
Are you talking about like veganism? Are you talking about eating a bunch of vegetables and then like you feel your energy better?
Yeah, for me, that's important. For me, it works. I don't feel like it's for everybody, but for me, it works. And for me, I try to take care of um, I try to take care of my temple in order for me to hear that vibration for myself. A lot of it has to do though with me dancing. I want to dance. I want to dance at a high level to be able to compete. And so the things I've learned through diet have been because I want to be able to still dance and I want to still be able to compete.
What kind of dancing?
Breaking, I break, and
Stop. See here, I thought you were like going back to some Chihuahuan headdress, like sacred dance. And he's like, break dancing, Chihuahua break dancing.
yeah, well, I feel it's just breaking is the same way I see hip hop, and I feel like breaking it's ancient. We've been touching the floor. It's that same vibration of wanting to touch the earth, wanting to hear the drum, wanting to do certain patterns with that unconsciously. And so we do those things. It's just a modern way of doing it, and doing our ancient cultures, our tribal ways. So I still see it like that. In my mind, when I'm breaking, I do have a
And how like
headdress on.
super racist of me just to assume like he's brown, he has to wear giant feathers. He's, he's like, no, I got Adidas or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, the Adidas are my feathers and my
Are
stripes,
they? Because I
my
love Adidas
Pumas.
too. That's funny. Okay, but you mentioned breakdancing and hip hop a lot. And I was raised a rocker. Okay, I like to
Mhm.
set things on fire. But as I learned through hip hop the past couple years being in radio, isn't dance one of those elements of hip hop? Like you kind of can't have one without the other type of thing.
Yeah, a lot of people think they hear hip hop and they think rap music.
Yeah. F
And
police.
for yeah, and so like for we say like a purist, a hip hop purist is what we call them, like someone that believes in the culture of hip hop. We there's the four core elements, because there's more elements, but the core elements are graffiti writing. We call it writing, graffiti. Then you have the dancers, the DJ, and the rapper. So the dancers are the breakers, the DJ, and then you have the rappers, and they
Really,
all,
I learned enough to know there was elements of hip hop.
yeah.
I
So
knew
so and isn't it ironic that it's four, just like
like
our
art
meditation?
directions.
Yeah, it's the same. There's so many relations, that are the same. There's four elements. I always tell people, like, our writers are just like petroglyphs. The DJing is just like the drum. And the dancers, we represent the fire, the circle, because we make a circle, just like at powwows when we have circles. The same thing as the b-boys and the b-girls. They come together and they create a circle, and then they provide that energy in the circle. And then you have the MCs, the rappers, and they're telling the story. They're telling today's story of what's going on in their communities, and they're passing on history through rapping. So it's the same thing. For 100 years from now, people might listen to my story, and maybe it'll move them in a certain way, though, just like our songs, traditional songs move our people in a certain way. So we're just in the time now, but in the future, it'll be looked back upon in another way.
That's awesome. Well, I really feel like in 25, 30 years, they're going to look back on this indigenous realm of hip hop and realize, oh, we missed a whole amazing phenomenon.
Yeah, yeah.
I really do. And I think we're going to look back and over focus on songs because we learned so much.
Yeah, I definitely feel like for the last few years, one of my big, I don't know, I don't want to say goals, but something I've been reaching for is bridging the gap between the elders and the young generation, the youth, because hip hop is a youthful spirit in itself. You think of young people do that, young people do hip hop, and then you have the elders that are traditional. But me telling that story of what hip hop is kind of bridges that gap. It kind of lets the elders know that, oh, they're doing something that we've always done, just in a new way. So then they can have a certain respect for what hip hop is, because hip hop isn't what's glorified on TV or on the radio. It's so much more. It gives life to people that are hopeless. If in third world countries, people are doing this because they have nothing else, and it's just the way we lived. Powwow was created because we had nothing else. They already took everything so much from us that we were like, oh, well, we still have our traditions. We can still sing. We could still dance. We could still tell our stories. So the same thing with hip hop. It comes from a place of oppression. So it gives that hope of life, so it's the same thing. So yeah, I think we are missing something phenomenal happening right now, but
I
it's
just
only
want
because we're
people to
living it.
listen. Because once they just lean in and listen, holy cow. Their hip hop is hilarious. It's profound. It's educational. It's sarcastic. It could be political. It could be ideological with ideas and solutions. I mean, hip hop, again, even though Pantera never really changed the world, I have a deep, profound, and new respect for hip hop. I don't want to say I get it, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's
it's a secret subculture that people are just missing because they're afraid.
Yeah, it was like I said earlier, it's been glorified in a certain way, and it's been painted to be looked at a certain way, but it's not that. When you look at the real deal, like, of what it is, what it really
Well,
is.
whatever it is, people have said it has saved their life.
Yes.
People,
Yeah.
like you say, it keeps your life going. People say it's motivating. I mean, even Jesus is like, without hip hop, I don't know where, he's all freaked out about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat. Like, without hip hop, I don't know where I'd be. I was already a troubled kid, and a part of that is a part of me now can look back and say that it's because I needed to express myself is reasons why I was troubled.
You just felt
And
so, ugh.
you know, especially I didn't not growing up with my culture. It's almost like I don't even know who I am. You know, I don't even know my identity. So I was like struggling to even understand myself. But hip hop led me back there. Now I can express myself in a positive way for the people. But it's because of this culture. If it wasn't for that, I don't know, I'd be dead or in jail or something, you know. And you know, I hate to say that, but it's just a road that I was once on.
But there's an honesty to hip hop that when you truly listen is relatable on so many different levels to so many different types of people in so many ways. Like you can
Mhm.
listen to these songs years apart and you hear it totally clicks with wherever you're at now. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something surprisingly moving to what
Mhm.
the honesty and rawness and realness that goes into it. It lasts.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely feel it's timeless. It's you know, it's just like any other
You
music.
and your words, things like timeless, things, like you're doing a much better job than I am. Thank you.
No, no. You know, it's like any other art form. You know, when it's brand new, people don't know how to accept it, and they feel like it's a fad and it's gonna go away. But at this point, we're 50 years strong. It's not going anywhere, and it's only bigger around the globe. And so it has to be respected. You have to respect it for what it is. Once you can look past the commercial end of it, then you can look once you look past that and you look at what it does to the youth, and then if you can tie it into your culture, it's so much deeper, you know. That's most, to me, the most beautiful thing about hip hop is that it involves everybody and it wants you to involve your culture, and it doesn't separate the people. It brings them together to bring your people. Like I've learned about other cultures because of hip hop. You know, because I have a friend that dances, that's you know, he's from another country, and I learn about his people because he's my friend and we dance together and we share this art form together. So, and we ask you to bring your culture in. So, you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing when you can look past it.
It's not a goal of conformity.
Mm-mm.
Not a goal that we all need to be just like this and just like that. And it's not a
Mm.
homogenous gang.
Yeah.
Why does it scare so many? uh, Co- I don't want to say, you know what I mean? Colonize. Why does hip hop scare so many bleeping people? Why?
I think because it it gives us a happiness. You know, happiness is scary, you know, for people. You know, when someone can be happy with nothing, that's scary for some people. Like why are they happy? Especially to someone that's trying to oppress people. But you can't when you can't oppress someone and you've taken everything from them and they're still happy, then that's scary for them, certain people. And when you we don't hip hop doesn't need anything. It doesn't need you don't I got into it because it was free. It was completely free. I couldn't afford band. I couldn't afford martial arts. I couldn't afford to be on sports teams, but I could go outside and dance in the street for free. And I could learn to write raps for free. And I could paint and draw for nothing. It didn't need anything. All it asked of me was to try. That's
Wow.
it.
I'm like tearing up. That's so beautiful. But it is true. When you're up against a system that needs classes and needs to hold people down,
Hmm.
and there's a group of people that have little or nothing, aren't dependent on the king,
Hmm.
and are completely happy, that they lose all control.
Hmm.
Or they
Hmm.
have zero, they've never had control at that point.
Yeah, yeah. And then, you
Wow.
know, and now that it's brought success, you know, that's even more, it just gets more frightening because now it's success. If hip hop is a global phenomenon, it's used in everything. It's used in commercials, it's used in marketing, it's used in advertise, it's used in everything outside of hip hop. You know, in the commercial world, it's used. So there's no denying it, you know, and it can bring you success in so many ways. You know, I have friends that have won TV shows, been on movies, and done all these amazing things. And it's because of this thing that they did because they loved it, that for no other reason, but they loved it and it made them happy. You know?
That's incredible. And everybody's included. It's not, you don't have to be a thing to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Or
You know,
born into a thing or a bloodline.
yeah. Or from a place, you know,
Yes.
you don't even have to be from a place.
Awesome. So Brave Star, brown fist emoji, 52 and 52. What else is there and where can people find it and start delving deep?
Well, all my music, I put out my music every week on any digital platform. So you can find all my music on iTunes or Spotify or Tidal, whatever you use, Google Play. You can find my music dropping every week. And then I drop everything on my social medias. All my social medias are at I am Artson, Artson. And yeah, so you can find all my music there. I'm just dropping every week. It's crazy. I just started the third album. The song with Dreezus was the first song off the third album. So Brown Fist Emoji was the first album. Then I did Can I Get It, which was the second album. And now I'm into Between the Bars, which was the first song with Dreezus. That was the first song. So
Bleeping Jesus. I love that kid.
yeah, he's awesome.
So did you have a stockpile of these ideas or songs already? Or, I mean, how long have you been dreaming up this thing? Because this is not like I'm bored COVID, I'm going to write a song every day thing. You're kind of
No.
you were
Like I said, I had Brown Fist Emoji. During Brown Fist Emoji, I started to dabble into a little bit of singing. And so
Why are you laughing? How bad is it?
well, just I'm not a singer, you know. Like I can't sing, you know? But
I know it's radio, but the look on your face when you said dabbling and singing was like, I don't want them to know, but it happened.
no. So I wanted to go further into that. I've had a few people around me that have always been guiding my career, and they always said you should try to sing a little more. You should. It's, you know, we know you're not a singer, but you have a good voice and you should try to sing more. These songs sound good that you didn't release, or this song once that you did sounded really good and it did good for you. So I started attacking that, and that happened so fast. I wrote Can I Get It? And I did a full album in like a week. I collected all the beats and I just wrote it all, and it just came really fast to me. And so I knocked that album out. And then, but during those times I wanted to do a trap album. Trap is like what I guess the kids are listening to now. And so I was like, okay, how can, without being like a hater and saying that trap is horrible or whatever, what can I do to that I think my perspective of trap, my story in trap. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to write a conscious album over trap beats. And so I started going with in that, and then I completed that album. That's this album with Dreezus. And so coming into the year, I was sitting on 3 albums. So I already had 32 songs done before even the idea of 52 songs. So I had 32, so I was only 20 away. And then I was like, man, I think I could drop. At first I was like, I could drop a song every like month and it would be for years. And I was like, if I did it every 2 weeks, it would be almost 2 years. And I was like, I think I could do a song every week. And I was like, man, that sounds crazy. And
Crazy.
and then I heard, I don't know if you've ever heard of the artist. His name is Russ.
Rust?
Yeah, Russ, Russ.
Oh, Russ. No.
Yeah. Well, I saw this interview of him. He's like really popular amongst like the youth, and he's like a today's artist. And he did an interview and he said that he came to a point in his life where he was like, I'm gonna drop a song every week, and he was sitting on 3 albums
Okay.
and going into the 4th album. And I'm watching this interview, and I'm like, I'm this guy right now. I'm in his position that he was in, and I could do this. And I had already thought of it, and it just inspired me to just be like, go ahead and do this. You could do this. You're already 30 songs in. So I started the mission, and then during COVID, I've written 2 albums. So I'm already done pretty much with the 52 songs. And
Well, that was easy.
and but all the songs, I don't treat them like, I don't record a song and put it out. I take the time to record the song, I send it to get mixed. I'm still getting it mastered. So I'm still going about it the way I would do any of my projects, any of my albums. Is I want it to sound as professional and as high quality as possible. So I want to bring the best of what I'm doing. So I don't want to be just recording and putting it out.
Yeah, mass producing, bam, bam.
Yeah. No, so I take my time, and I'm like, oh, once it gets to master, then I could be like, okay, this can come out. This is the quality I'm looking for. So I want to do this 52 at a very high quality
Caliber.
yeah, and I want it, and also too, what was inspiring for me of all this is that it hasn't been done in indigenous world. And I was like, no, nobody's done this in indigenous hip hop. Nobody's done this in the indigenous music world. And I want to do something that's never been done. And if anyone does it afterwards, that's fine. But I want to do it like this, and I want to do it at a very high
And
caliber.
show them how it could be done in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how do you choose your co-conspirators for these songs? I'm sorry, your friend.
It's people that I like, people that I feel are on the same vibration that I'm on, people that I respect, and yeah, and people. It's usually someone I know, someone um that I'm close to, but I also respect as an artist. So yeah, I just choose by like, I don't know. There's something that I just hear them on it. Like, oh, I hear this person on this, and I'll reach out to them and see if they want to do it, or if they have time. But I'm also a little a little crazy on that end, because I expect, sometimes I have to calm myself down because I expect a lot from people, and I expect people to work at the same pace that I do. So sometimes I'm like, can you get this song? And as soon as they say yeah, I'm like, okay, can you have it to me by next week or something, and people are like, whoa, hold on. And I'm like, so sometimes I have to chill myself out and be like, give this person a little bit of time, but I'm always trying to push people to be like, get it done now, right now. Like, let's
go, Skoden.
Yes, Golden. Let's get it.
No, I hear you loud and clear. But when a woman acts like that, they're the B word.
No.
They're just motivating. So you have like 52 different people on this thing.
No.
Like how many are by yourself? I'm just curious.
Well, Can I Get It only had 2 features. Brown Fist Emoji was definitely a whole collaborative album. Between the Bars has, I think, it has about 9 features on the album. So there's only like maybe, I think, 3 or 4 songs where I'm by myself. And then these 2 albums that I've done during COVID will only have a minimal features. It'll only be maybe 3 for both albums, not total. So there's not going to be a lot of features on the next 2 after this. And then I've already started collecting the music for the next Brave Star album. So I'm like 80% of the music is done for the next Brave Star album.
How do you sleep with all this?
I don't sleep.
52. Okay, so he's done with that, and then a what out and a what and a.
Yeah, it's a lot. I know it's a. I had a friend who'd always tell me to chill. And also my wife is always like, you need to let this album sit or stop creating so much, you know. But I just feel like something in me right now is really open and in tune, and I'm channeling something right now, and I just gotta go. I gotta get it out, you know. And it's just the artist in me that's like,
No,
no.
my dad's been telling me to slow down since I can remember. So I hear you loud and clear. Like you got to get it out or it eats you alive.
Yeah, so there's no stopping, no slowing down. And yeah, I sleep when I can, and just I try to just stay stay as creative as possible all the time.
So you also mentioned flouting, a flautist. What kind of flute?
I play the Native American flute.
So do you like put that on all your tracks, or is that like is that the sensitive Artson?
Well, actually, I did put out. This is funny.
Sorry,
So
Ron
I
Burgundy
did
just
actually
came to
put out
me.
a flute
Ron
album.
Burgundy just came to me at the restaurant. So now all I can do is picture you on top of tables with your flute, kicking glasses. I get it in my head. Okay. Focus. Okay, so you and
It's something that I do at my shows. I'll play the flute at my shows as like an opener. I did drop an album out this year. So I did drop an extra album. So an extra album has come out. That is an all flute album. And I only did that one through Bandcamp. So it's not on iTunes or nothing. I'll probably put that out soon on iTunes and like all the other digital platforms. That one's called Organic Dreams. It's an all flute album. But there's not much flute on my hip hop.
like it's not a
albums.
consistent theme, is what I was asking.
Yeah, I'll like drop it in here and there, but it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's just something like sprinkled in.
Okay, I literally am looking for a pen. Okay, so we got Organic Dreams.
Yeah, that's the flute album, Organic Dreams.
You must get that to me. And then Brave Star. What was pre-Brave Star?
Brave Star was my 7th album. So at the end of all this, in 2021, I will be at like 15 albums.
I'm not even gonna write that down. And here I was thinking I was coming in at a good point, and he's like, "No, honey, you're like 15 years late." Cool.
No, but I didn't break into the indigenous hip hop world until maybe like 2015. So before everything, all the albums before, I was just doing hip hop stuff. I was in the hip hop world, and I wasn't really doing much in the indigenous world. And it wasn't until really Brave Star hit. I was already touring with different artists like Keys and Red Cloud, and I was breaking in, but Brave Star hit. And because I had already been touring, then it just completely brought me in. And so a lot of people don't know my history of how many albums I have out and stuff, because that was mainly like in the hip hop.
When you sent me one, I assume that is the only one that you have. So I don't know if you want to age yourself. I mean, we got some time. So when did you first pick up the mic and become a rapper?
The first time I ever performed was in 1993. No, 1992 was the first time I ever performed. It was a thing called Teen Expo. And we were just young kids. We performed over instrumentals, other rap instrumentals. And I was mainly dancing at the time. I've been dancing my whole life. And but I started rapping. I was already like writing raps at the time. And my friend was already like a pretty well-known rapper in the city. I grew up in El Paso, Texas, and he was already a well-known rapper then. He said, "Hey, you should just start rapping with me." And so I started doing stuff with him, and then he had a performance and he involved us all, and that was my first performance. First time I ever recorded was around 1995, 94, 95, and I put out a cassette tape in 1998, right at the change of like cassette to CD when it was like, okay, cassettes are
They were
done.
so cheap though. The cassettes were so cheap at that point. I was still making mixtapes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I put out a cassette, and that was my first project. And then
What was it called? And do you still have said cassette?
it was called The Path Least Taken. And we were a group called The Path. And I don't have a cassette anymore. I do have a cover, but I don't have a cassette. I still have the songs though,
Yeah,
through CD and digital.
I wanted a
And
cassette.
yeah, I so wish
I
I could
wanted the
have a
drama of
cassette.
like finding a cassette player somewhere in the garage. You said Texas. It's hard to imagine Texas, especially in the 90s, having a hip hop rap culture of anything because it's so
Yeah,
Texas.
I feel like we were fortunate because El Paso is one of the biggest army military bases. So because we had that, there was so many people coming in from both sides of the coast. So a lot of people from the East Coast, a lot of people from the West Coast, and they were bringing in, what was being expressed out there. So hip hop breaking came early. I started breaking in like 82, 83. I was just a little boy. My brothers, my cousins, they were already doing it. Yeah, that was me. This was before Flashdance, before B Street, before breaking, before any of the movies hit. We were already breaking because we were seeing it from guys that were in the military playing on basketball courts, and they kind of caught on. And then the movies broke out, and then it was over from there. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
Well, it was like the movies, even though they may not be completely accurate, it validates what you're doing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so to hear stories from indigenous artists validates what you're feeling, validates what you're walking, validates what you're praying.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
You know a crazy story. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Beat Street.
no.
No. Well, it's a movie came out in 1984. It's
Yeah,
about
I'm a late life hip hopper. Excuse me.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was a movie from 1984. It's called Beat Street. They had a lot of breaking in the movie, and there's an infamous battle that happened in the movie where two crews battle at a club, and one of the crews is they were real crews from New York City. It was the New York City Breakers and Rocksteady crew. That scene alone changed my life in so many ways, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this hip hop culture. So years later, 2003, living in Las Vegas. I lived there for 15 years of my life. A show comes to Las Vegas, and it's called the Manhattan Show. And they bring a lot of dancers from New York City, and a few of the members from that scene of the movie moved to Las Vegas. And I become friends with them, and then I become part of Rocksteady Crew. And
Wow.
this is like I was part of Rocksteady Crew for 10 years. So I learned a lot from the pioneers of not only dance but hip hop culture, from guys from New York City, bro. This is like I would hear stories of like pre hip hop, what them doing hip hop before it was even called hip hop. So I was getting that type of knowledge of like this is how it was created.
Wow.
And so it was like I fulfilled my childhood dream. I was like, I went and saw these guys in the movies, and like that's what I wanted to do. They were like my Supermans. And then I was able to be a part of their family for 10 years and learn from them. And so it's just a little side story that's like, for me,
No,
it's such an
I have
amazing
no
story.
idea. That's why we're here to learn about you. Okay? To me, you're just some dude that sent me a CD last year or a couple years ago. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like this. This is my jam. Right. And then you came into my life right when the local hip hop Congress started bugging me. And
Mm,
so, I live in the fourth whitest county in California.
mm,
So indigenous hip hop is not very well received, even though I so proudly present it and I'm so passionately behind every single one of you. It's still like, it breaks my heart because I feel like it isn't appreciated and falls upon deaf ears.
mm,
And I hearing these stories and putting a face to this album, I think gives people more of a permission to approach and listen. You know, that you're not some crack dealing thug, you know, all hooded. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
hearing you and learning about you, just being you, starts to break down those walls and stereotypes.
Mm.
Because there's stories everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I try to do, especially for I mean, we still have like we still have those stereotypes right now, like you're saying. And when I was young, it was even harder, you know.
Absolutely.
So we didn't have, for instance, I'm fortunate enough to go into a classroom now. I could go into schools and teach and share my story and talk to the youth, and I get to bring, hip hop music and dance into their life at a young age. And I didn't have that when I was young. When nobody came to our school doing hip hop when I went to school. Nobody, we didn't have dance studios that were teaching hip hop dance or
Oh,
breaking.
no, it was foreboding. It was a terror. I remember because I was born in 80. So the NWAs, it was terror. People were terrified. So
Mm-hmm.
anything that didn't sound like the norm up to that point was put in this rap hip hop category. And that's just what drug addicts and poor people and ethnics listen to. Like, so I vividly remember just that kind of all happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now that I'm able to go do these things for the youth, is that I'm trying to break that mold even more. It's already been broken down to where we're in the system. But now that we're in the system, we got to infiltrate it. We got to like go all in and really affect their minds. And it's when I go into and I teach the kids about hip hop or I share my story. At the end of the day, the the uh, the goal is to get them to express themselves. However, it's not the goal isn't to get them to be hip hop or get them to rap or get them to
A
dance.
superstar.
Yeah, it's not to get them to do hip hop at all. The goal is just to get them to express themselves. That's it. I just want you to express yourself and try to do good in the world. That's it. That's all my goal is I don't care if you into hip hop or not. I'm just sharing my story because my story is what got me to express myself and what's got me to be anything in this world. So I just want you to do that. Just try to be you.
There's true consequences, Artson darling, to not expressing yourself physically, psychologically. Like, I mean, it's all jacked up if you don't
Mhm.
find a way to get it out of your body.
Yes, yes. And I truly believe that. I know that. I know that. I know that it can make you sick. And I know that what it does to our people when we don't express. Our, our people have such a deep connection to expressing in our blood and spirit that if you don't do it, it's gonna hurt your spirit. And you're not gonna know why you're hurt. It's just like depression. You don't know why you're depressed, but it's because of something inside you. But when you're expressing, you're slowly releasing that, slowly letting go, slowly healing yourself, slowly telling about your trauma, slowly in increments, and just little by little. So I truly believe that if we're not expressing ourselves, it's detrimental to our spirit.
Yes, and I mean, I'm not a scientist, even though I have a clipboard. Um, I honestly, like, I get stomach aches, I get heartburn, I get headaches, I get these weird physical pain when you're in a position to where you're stifled, you're silenced, when you really are. Oh, I guess I'm talking about Standing Rock, when you just feel like afraid and oppressed. That's these physical things, and I don't want any kid growing up, ethnic, non-ethnic. I don't want any child ever growing up feeling the physical ailments of oppression and being stifled.
Yes, yes, that's the truth right there. I at this point, with things that I'm doing, they're not necessarily for me. The music I'm doing, it's not necessarily for me. I'm grateful that I'm still able to do all these things, and I'm grateful that, or it gives me a sense of accomplishment, yes, but I know that it's not necessarily for me. It's for the future. It's for the youth. It's for the next generations to believe in themselves and to do like this. You can do this too. I just want to show people that it's possible. So even me doing this 52 and 52 is to show everybody that it's possible.
Well,
You can
you're
do this.
motivating me. You're motivating me that I make a commitment to something and I just do it. And I watch it happen and I make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when it comes to editing audio or making a skirt or whatever, the point is, it's like you made a commitment to yourself and to your audience and you stuck to it and you knew it was going to suck and you smiled. You're sick. Sick. Twisted. He's not sick. He's twisted. I'm going to drive myself crazy for 1 calendar year. Are you getting grayer?
No way.
He's going to be chain smoking and shaking by his next birthday. Like, I'm out. I'm out.
I'm out of here.
So, okay. I want to catch up then to our indigenousness type listeners, those who follow this program because of the indigenousness. Brave Star 2015. And then what? And then Brown Fist Emoji?
Then Brown Fist Emoji.
And then the one that you just did with the Dreezus.
No, after Brown Fist Emoji, I did Can I Get It?
That's the name of the song or the album?
The album.
Now, where can they get it?
On iTunes, on Tidal. You could listen to it on Spotify. You could even listen to it on YouTube. The whole album's on YouTube. But go buy the album.
Well, where can they buy it? Because that's what I'm saying. People, I feel, that engage my program really honestly give a heck and want to make sure you have gas money and cat food or whatever.
Yeah, please. Yeah, buy the album on iTunes. Buy the album on. You could buy it on any digital.
What do you say about CD Baby?
I didn't. This is the first time I haven't been using CD Baby. I've been using. I haven't been using CD Baby. I put them out.
Bandcamp. That's what you said.
Yeah, Bandcamp. Every first Friday of the month, Bandcamp is giving 100% of the proceeds to the artists. So they keep every first Friday of the month since COVID started. So you can get this. I'm going to be uploading a ton of music.
So next Friday, right? What day is it? I'm so bad. I'm a journalist, Artson. So I'm saying, okay, so this airs, this airs the 30th. So on August 7th, everybody needs to go to Bandcamp to purchase their favorite artist because Bandcamp's kicking down 100%.
Yes.
I get that right.
Yep. So please go on there, find me, Artson. Find the albums. All the albums are on there.
And get it, Can I Get It's Done and All the Way Out.
Can I Get It's Done All the Way Out.
And then, so what are we, what's the next timeline for the next majigger?
Right now, I'm dropping a song. This will be the Between the Bars album. It's the one that has Dreezus, and I'm dropping a song every week. I think there's 12 songs on the album, so the next 12 weeks will be completing that album. Okay. Between the Bars.
It's like most people are like, I have one album or maybe 3, and I'm sitting here literally like high on Sharpie trying to figure out like what this dude's deal is.
I love it.
You're making me work. So Facebook, like, give me your social medias real quick so people can or do they just Google Artson? Some guy named Artson?
You could Google, just Google Artson, but all my social medias are I am Artson. So it's ARTSON, all of them, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I am Artson.
Wouldn't it be this way then? Right?
Yeah, it's backwards to me, but yes.
Oh, then I did it right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it'd be backwards of them. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Artson, I am just tickled to death by you. You're just one of the coolest people. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And when you and Dreezus did a thing, I was so jealous, and I tried to get you in on the me and Dreezus interview just because I was like, I want to hang out with both of them. I have FOMO, like if there was a pill medically prescribed, I would take it because I'm like, I want to be there. But I don't know. I think that you're inspiring, and I think a lot of California natives can relate to you too, because we lost so much here in the state so quickly that we're putting ourselves back together with each other and in unexpected ways, like hip hop. So I'm getting a little emotional. I think you're a treasure and a treat, and I am so thrilled that we stumbled upon each other years ago. And I need all these albums, clean versions, because I'm going to go hard. I'm going to do a red eye midnight to 4 a.m. show, and I'm going to shove native hip hop in people's ears so hard they get a nosebleed.
I love it. Yes, thank you for, I'm really grateful to have met you, and thank you for allowing me to share my story and share a little bit with the people. And I'm just grateful that I have these opportunities to touch people's ears like that and allow them to feel some type of way, whatever, however they feel about it. I'm just, it's, I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to have these opportunities. Not even my family always understood what I was doing. So, I was the kid that went against the grain. I was the rebel in the family. And, so I'm just really, really grateful and fortunate that I can share this and even have my family inspired now and have them believe now and have them know that I did what I was supposed to do. And I did what I was supposed to do in this life. And that's what I want for the people. But
you're giving other people permission to do that as well, to take that first step of being who they are. Because it's terrifying. It's so terrifying. You're supposed to go to high school, go to college, get married, have kids, retire, die. But a lot of us can't do that. A lot of us, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so you're giving other people permission to take that first step off to the left or to the right or whatever it is. And that's a huge deal.
Yeah. I want the people to leave something here that can last forever. Whatever it is that is calling you to do that, leave something that can last forever so people remember you. And that's your legacy. That's your name. That's what people are going to remember you by, the things, your actions, the way you treat people and the things that you leave behind. So I'm just trying to do those things in a good way.
You're leaving behind tears right now. I'm just getting emotional. I'm super touched because, again, the stereotype of hip hop ego and gangsta, and here we have like the world's sweetest little vegan. I don't eat anything that casts a shadow. You know what I mean? I hug it all. So I just think that's cool. You're being yourself. You're being an amazing yourself, and it's inspiring to everybody. So I am Artson all over the Instagrams. August 7th, Bandcamp. Like, yes. Clean out the change from the couch or whatever. Clean out the car, dump the purse. Proceeds to all artists, 100%. Go.
Please.
So, yeah. Maybe we'll get you a nice beaded cap or something with all them Bandcamp monies. I love it. I don't want to let you go. I am Artson. Do you have a website? Did we miss the website?
Oh, yep. I am Artson is the website. IamArtson.com. Yep. .com.
Oh. I'm glad you just keep it simple and everything, because Dreezus is like Dreezus music. I am Dreezus, or in Dreezus name, or just like just pick one boy, stick to it. I love it. All right. Well, please keep us in touch with stuff that happens. And I need it. I need the whole discography.
Okay. You got it. I'm gonna start putting it together.
I'm all getting like panic. Like, do it now, dude. I just asked you 4 minutes ago. Where's it?
You're awesome.
Artson, you're awesome. So go hug the wife and go talk to your plants and keep in touch.
Yes.
We love you, buddy.
I love